we have to learn to do our part in the communication area. And then the other side of it is really on them. Like, cause we spend a lot of time worrying about other people's actions too. And all we can really control is ourselves.
And going back to what you're saying, and with the communication side of it, I don't think we were conditioned as young boys to have that safe outlet. Not all men were in the space when we were younger. We had that practice. Right? Women tend to nurture emotionally each other, speak vulnerably. So a lot of times I heard it profound when I was in middle school. Kind of, I used to cuss like a pirate. Just wow. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, yo, the reason you cursing a lot is because you ain't got no vocabulary. Right. A lot of times if you don't have enough vocabulary, you're saying something that you think is cool and it fills it up, right? It's filler words, right? So you start realizing there's a lot of what we have as our retort or the aggression of the past, things that we can communicate, but we didn't have the language. We didn't practice that. That wasn't something we practiced sitting around, tapped in, trying to say, you know, when you did this, you made me feel like, or when you said this, it hurt. Right. We ain't practicing that as young boys. I mean, we grew up in a house. We didn't grow up like that. Not at all. But if you did grow up in a house that was healthy and you heard it, you can mimic it, right? And you start seeing it work. But if you didn't grow up in that type of household, it wasn't like it was sit down, like you learn how to eat with your knife. Like to this day, there's folks who don't know how to have table etiquette. Right. Not because they don't know how to eat food. They just ain't been taught. Like this fork is for this. This two forks here, 2 spoons. Like you looking at the table and look like a math problem, right? True. That's how a lot of us as young men, as men, now a lot of us when we were younger, we didn't have that conversation. So it sounded like a math problem. So what does it mean? We know the answer. Yeah, you got to be the bold one to raise your hand. Exactly. When nobody raises their hand, you got to be the one that's like, I don't know what you say. I got to figure this out. And a lot of men, we didn't have that kind of operation going on.
True, absolutely. But now that we are getting it, or now that we've gotten it, or now that we've learned it on our own, even if we had to work hard to learn it, I think it's our duty, especially as the husband type,
absolutely, to
pass it on.
That's it.
To our sons, and not just our daughters.
Yeah,
like with my son, if something's up, he's crying, he's upset, he's angry, whatever it is that he got going on, I say, come here, son, what's wrong? What's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah.
Use your words. Tell me how you feeling.
Yeah.
Are you angry?
Yeah.
Why are you angry? Help them, like coach them through that. You know, that's important for us to do, especially as the husband type move forward.
Absolutely.
We shouldn't let what happened to us. We shouldn't let that happen to us.
Oh, no way.
And now I don't have a son. I have a daughter, but even still, just as a parent, as a father, like you said, just to reiterate, it's when, you know, I had a conversation with her the other day because I had to get onto her, and you know, she was hurt by me getting onto her. So I said, "How you feeling? How do you feel about what I just said?" She was like, "Sometimes, you know," she was like, "when you get upset with me, you tell me what you need to say, but then she was like, but you keep going. After you tell me, you keep going." Because I teach her to speak your mind or deal with the situation, and then we let it go. And she called me out. She said, you keep going on and on about it. I had to apologize. And I apologized to let her know that you're not just a child. Yes, I am your parent. Yes, there are certain things where I make the last decision, but don't make the mistake of thinking that you are not a human being with feelings that matter. And that what you have to say means nothing because you're a kid. No, it always means something. And this is the reason why we grow up not knowing how to communicate, because our parents didn't let us talk about anything.
Shut us down so quick.
That's it.